ukwa bochire de ye adwuma even one who sit down or more bochire Germany America meboa emre ye adwuma but who be sit down Ghana ha dia emre nye adwuma that's why I'm saying say your mra obi o say me na be see me dan na that was no space unless you give what do you mean what you are saying is say you should be able to respect the laws obi o say demand and supply. I've heard many technocrats talking about the fact that we should allow people to charge the way they like because are buying CB. Indeed, are buying CB, we acknowledge, but there is law.
Yeah, you know, sir, you keep on explaining yourself. I'm not sure you do understand the vision of the president. I'm not sure that you really understand their kind of policy and the dream that they want to arrive at. You understand? You should understand where the NDC is coming from. They are social democrat, if you really understand it. They are not MPP. It's the capitalism, party. That is why anytime that they come to rule the country, inflation gallops. Certain goods, commodity and services, the prices become so high because of, what they believe in. They believe in privatization. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So, if you really understand what a social democrat is, you will really stop talking, but rather you put more effort in your action in order to arrive at the target in which the president is expecting. The landlord charge, abnormally, where citizens cannot even have the means in order to pay. You understand? You keep on explaining yourself on what the law says. The law says that, the law says this. And you keep on quoting from the article 13, article 14 and whatever. And the last time that I checked, you said that because, the citizens are ignorant, they are adamant about what the law says. Enough of talking. And even you are not the one who's supposed to engage the public on such a conversation. It is the duty of the NCA in order to make, a publication concerning that so that they will make sure that the landlords or the citizen will be aware of such. You are talking of the tenancy agreements. The landlords together with the tenants has to come to your office to make a registration to get the tenancy agreement. How many of tenants or landlords has come to your office to make a registration concerning that? None. And you are sitting in your office. Now the spotlight is on you. The media has given you the spotlight. You have to take a necessary action. The question that we are asking, what are the certain measures that you have deployed in order to tackle such issue?
And that the law ought to be applied. It is a abansi dana. That's already $1 million, $5 million for one room. Man, kasa on. It's a free market. So far as I demand and supply, no, but the law says, won't me increase your rents under section 13 or so. Abra won't apply to rent control for assessment. Your room has been. See, we don't control you, but what you do is to ensure that the tenant know your voiceless. The law also protect the tenants. We now see that we are upper hand. It is not pay to match and the shortage. It's yen down now mukoma. How? So the law says, the assessment. Okay, Masimi dine. Maybe say tum. Friend now, all right over tum. Agent na tum. Yes. Oba na chase na you. Oba na we no. But you back and me control cement. It is based on the fact that me to cement in it, Cement boy then. 20 years we been to cement or cement too. For what reason? What kind of behavior is that? 20 years on petty dino. 1 year maintenance, almost will be actually the man was the area had here. Yet you say I never bought here. Adanya, you have to cement. What was cemented that mean? And the law says, let us do an assessment. And the assessment will tell you, say, me boka say it you have to justify it before you can be given. You have to economic. Inflation also. We agree. What's the time? And so did he. Near to move 1 bag 10 Ghana. It's a 11 cities. It won't even to be. Yet to move inflation raising 5%. Who could do them 50%? And then you 1,000 who wants to make 1,800. No more story keke now do bobo. You can almost say allow the free market to work. Then there shouldn't be any government in the system. Then we should go and cancel our laws. Those who make that statement are not statesmen, honestly.
You know, as a rent control officer, you know the act of rent in our constitution. You know it. It is not this time that the parliament is going to pass this law where you have to come to radio stations and station after station to explain yourself. The bill has already been passed a long time ago. So now what you have to do is to enforce it. And how can you enforce it? These are the measures that you have to deploy in order to tackle such issues. Whoever doesn't comply with the law has to be fined or has to be jailed. You understand? This is how we tackle such issue. You understand? And the last time you said that it's so worrisome when you went to Legon campus and you find out that even the whole SNIT has a hostel and they are charging abnormally. You understand? You were shocked. It means that, you know, because of privatization of certain policy of certain party, which has given such power and control to the landlords in order to charge such an amount. You understand? Now there's a new administration that is running the country. You should understand their dream and their policy. They want everything to be normalized. You understand? So you should understand the policy of the party which have been appointed you or assigned you on such duty. You understand? So please, enough of the talking, enough of the preaching, and take necessary action towards it. You can't keep on educating people on such matter or such issue. The necessary action has to be taken so that people with such mindset of pricing their accommodation so high will come into their senses and lower things up. You understand that the president or the government cannot bring out a fixed pricing. You understand? Even though in a certain country there are certain fixed prices, which is the policies that some of the landlords have to go by it. And before they come out with that fixed pricing, they have to come and make an assessment on that building before they give you a certain price that you have to tag on your building before any tenants come to rent the house. You understand? We have not reached that stage. You understand? But it's supposed to be fair